That'll do.
Welcome to a new vlog.
Yeah. There's a dog.
Anyway, what are you planning on reading this week?
Read The Roughest Draft by two authors of whom I don't know the name of.
It's over there. I can't even tell you.
I have the book. It's over there. I don't want to go get it.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not going to. You know what it is. Or you don't. That's not really my problem. I'm going to read that, and then I want to get back into comic books. So are you good? I'm going to pick probably a comic or so. What? I'm not speaking normal. I'm going to pick probably a comic book or a couple to read because I've got a lot of comics that I haven't read.
Well, I've decided I'm going to dive into cozy mystery, so I have a book called The Vampire Knitting Club that I'm going to try. And then I have, what's that one called? Spoiler alert, which I'm going to try. And then I'm going to continue my Kim Harrison reread. Also, we didn't mention this in the last vlog. We put Ducky and Dorothy in with Wookie, so when you see them in her clips from now on, that's why.
Yeah, some stuff happened.
I explained.
I don't know what vlog it got explained in.
The last one.
I talk about it in this one.
Okay.
Coming up here in a minute because Sarah addressed it because I was not in a state to. But then I decided to say something because I thought it'd be weird if I didn't. But yeah, so that'll come up.
Well, see you next clip.
Hello there. So it's very late. I'll start off by saying I don't know exactly what Sarah has said or if she's explained anything. I'll assume if she hasn't, she'll just cut this part. But as far as I know, there hasn't been a clip of me for a while. I mean, for you, maybe it's been a few seconds or a few minutes. For me, I haven't done one in couple weeks, so I suppose this is me getting back on the saddle. I haven't read anything in a bit. I could see the empty rat cage right in the corner of the screen, which is just great, and I'd be a lot more upset about that if I did not hear the rattle of 3 rats in a cage right next to me. So there is that. I surely hope that Sarah explained what happened because I don't want to. And I'm not going to. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for book things because it's a book channel. And Sarah bought me a book. She bought me The Roughest Draft by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. They are a writing couple and a real life couple. I think they primarily do young adult, or they did do young adult, and now they have an adult romance. I believe they're engaged in real life as of right now. And this one just came out, actually. This is pretty new. The premise is two writers who were friends would write books together that were absurdly popular. Like I think they actually only did 2 books. One of them sold 15 million copies worldwide, which I think it's funny that the authors picked that number because that's just like unprecedented. Like, do you have any idea how many books sell that many? Barely any. So they're like crazy popular. They did 2 books together and they had a falling out and they haven't spoken in 4 years. And the main fella, Nathan, is writing on his own, and his books aren't doing very well. And Katrina has stopped writing completely. And her fiance, her literary agent, who used to be both of their literary agent, has basically guilted her into writing another book, and not just writing another book, but writing a book with Nathan because it'll do well, and they're contracted for one more book from years ago because they signed a 2-book deal. So Nathan and Katrina are thrown together to write one more book together before, I assume, they go gently into that good night. I don't really know what they didn't explain exactly. Just like, oh, we're just gonna do one more book, and then he's hoping it'll jumpstart his solo career, and then she's probably not gonna write again. Because selling 15 million books, even splitting your royalties, gives you a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. So she doesn't need to write. But anyway, yeah, I'm this far, and this is how much I have left. I like it. Or I guess I could, since I'm almost done. Are you fighting? You're fighting. Dorothy, why are you pinning Wookie? Dorothy? Wookie's very patient with you. Wookie's taking it, honestly, like a champ, because Dorothy's being annoying, and Wookie is just laying there, letting her work it out. You sweet baby angel. My poor child. I'm so sorry. Wookie's just trying to eat. Dorothy, stop being a jerk. Anyway, they're dealing with some stuff, so if you hear rustling, that's my child trying to live her life, and Sarah's child not letting her, and Sarah's other child watching and occasionally participating, even though I gave them almonds, so they should be calm. Anyway, back to the book. Sarah bought me this yesterday, actually, and I happened to have it at the library, so the timing worked out. But I haven't hauled this yet, but it's 2 or 3 in the morning right now, so I'm not going to finish it tonight, but I will finish it tomorrow. But I'll talk about it like I did finish it, and then if the ending is egregious, I'll pop in and correct myself. But I'll say I did enjoy this. I'd say 3.5 stars. I'm going to try not to spoil this book. The problems I have with it are it completely lacks any subtlety. I don't need a book to be vague. I don't need it to be deeply nuanced, but there is nothing subtle in this. Like, one of the characters, Nathan, oh my god, Wookie and Dorothy are now pinning, no, Wookie and Ducky are pinning Dorothy. That's teamwork, and I do appreciate it. Anyway, okay. Nathan can't talk with his mouth. He can only express himself through writing. So he writes scenes to express how he feels, and I'm enjoying this book, but the characters are both really petty, pretty immature. I'm finding it hard to root for the romance. Not a rom-com, by the way. If you thought this was a rom-com, not at all. It's just a romance, which is fine with me. I know some people see the cartoon covers and get entitled about it being funny. It's not funny. It's a bit of a bummer, but I don't have a problem with that. But both the main characters are kind of unlikable, which one of the other characters points out. So I don't think it's supposed to be not that. That being said, it's hard for me to root for characters I don't really like. They don't even do anything that bad. It's just a lot of pettiness, kind of I don't know. I don't want to be upset with them for being angry, but it's a bit much, I guess, for me. I don't regret getting it, and I'll keep it. And so I actually even have a signed book plate. So yeah, I like it just fine. It's just the characters are a little irritating, and I don't even necessarily feel like I'm rooting for the romance. When I'm reading a romance, I want by the time they kiss to just be chomping at the bit, desperate for it, and I just don't care too much here. I want to feel as if I'll combust if they don't kiss, and that's not happening, unfortunately. I do think the book deserves better than it seems to be getting ratings-wise. I will say, middle of the road. If you like books about books and writing, definitely. I think the writing is good because they talk like they're writers. It's got the prose are writer themed. You know what I mean? It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I've had a long week. So you're not allowed to criticize me. But I am enjoying the book again, and I'm hoping the ending doesn't suck. It's a happy ending, which is good. That's all you can ask for. After I read this book, I'm going to be moving on to the new Sean Maguire book, Where the Drowned Girls Go, which is in the Wayward Children series. I have that at the library. It's about to expire. I'm going to try really hard to read it this week. I'm still kind of like dealing with some stuff, so we'll see what happens. I do have a couple books. I'll do a mini haul, and then I'll also do these again in the main haul because I don't know when's going to happen. I'm not getting too many books. My birthday is coming up in a couple weeks, so I might get a few. We'll see. But give me 1 second. We went to the used bookstore and they didn't have a ton of stuff I was interested in. But they did have the first 2 Umbrella Academy comic books, which I don't think I've mentioned here that I am into Umbrella Academy. The show, not the comics. I haven't read them yet. But they had both. And I was just like, man, I might as well get these. And then if I like these, I believe there's a third and then a short story collection. I'm not sure. The premise of these, if you don't know, I think I jokingly said it was like Twilight because they all had different powers, or that was about X-Men. But a bunch of kids were born at the same time and they all have powers. And this weird dude collected 7 of them. He collected 7 of them and basically made them child superheroes. And that's what these are about. And the show is pretty fun. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but I did the second time. And my other book from a mini book haul is The Love Con by, how do I say her name? Sarisa Glass. I haven't heard anyone say anything about this. We were at the bookstore and Sarah was going to get me, she was only supposed to get me 1. I don't know how it ended up being 2. But she does stuff like that. And I'm helpless to stop her. Not that I have the emotional energy to even try, but the thing is also with these, if I like these, then she'll read them. So she also gets something out of it. But anyway, Sarah very generously bought me this. I don't know exactly what the premise is. It's, ooh, okay. Now I do, because I glanced this. I knew it was fake dating. And there's cosplay. Sometimes Kenya Davenport believes that she was switched at the hospital. How else could a lover of anime, gaming, and cosplay come from STEM parents? So there's a television show, and they're gonna fake date for it. But if you can see, she's like dressed like Thor. She's got the hammer. He's got the hammer, and the hammer is there. I can't pronounce the hammer's name, so I won't try and say it. But this looks very, very cute. And I love nerdy stuff, so I'm hoping this is fun. And that's, all I have to say. I feel bad because so many clips we do. We apologize for our low energy and all that. And I think maybe it's not good to apologize for being sad because it makes it seem like you should apologize for being sad. And the truth is, like, probably a lot of people, it's been a really hard couple years, like COVID, keeping everyone locked up. Personal life hasn't even had that many hard things happen. We've been losing a lot of pets lately because our choice of pets is rats, and they just don't live very long. They're supposed to live about 2 or 3 years, and sometimes they do, and unfortunately, as I have just found out the hard way, sometimes they don't, and there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. And I haven't been reading. I haven't been doing much of anything because I've just been kind of dealing with it. And I don't want to apologize for being sad or low energy because I'm sad and my energy is low. But I'm going to try and read more because it helps, and don't know much else to do. So I'm going to try really hard to keep doing clips and, move on try and deal with things. It's just very hard being stuck in the house, and one of the things you care about and love goes away. I'm sure anybody watching understands that and has been through that. So no more apologizing for being sad. But I am terribly sad. And Wookie's about to get pinned again, so I should probably stop. But thank you if you kept watching through our little break on vlogs. I needed some time. I didn't have it in me to do much of anything. And if Sarah didn't explain what happened, then you must be horribly confused right now. I lost a rat, one of my two, Wicket, who I love so much. I still have her sister Wookie, who's currently in intros with a couple of Sarahs, so that she's not by herself, but it's been a really hard week. And that's what happened. And that's it. Oh, cool. You can see me crying. Nice. I love it. Okay. I should probably go to sleep. But yeah, so I'm back reading stuff, and I'm so far behind on my Goodreads challenge. So my new goal is to try and catch up. I've been saying for a while I want to sit down and do like a bunch of comic books in one night, or like do a whole vlog that's just comic books, because I have a whole bunch of new ones that I bought and I haven't read yet. I really would like to, because I have this issue sometimes when I buy comics that I don't read them. I just sit them on the shelf forever, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to gather myself and do things, and yeah, I feel like I've rambled enough. So good night. I'll see you in the next clip.
Alright, so I finished. You gonna go hey? Okay. I finished Pale Demon. I have no idea if these two vlogs are messy. It's because we're just trying to slap our footage together in a way that makes sense. So I apologize. But anyway, I have no idea where this is going. But I finished Pale Demon, and I liked it pretty well. It still didn't beat out For a Few Demons More for me. That one's still my favorite. And I give it 4 stars, I think. And yeah, solid book. I'm still enjoying the series quite a bit. I look forward to getting to the new ones. There's 2 that I haven't read, with the 3rd on the way. What are they doing? So yeah, and then I started Lover Revealed by J.R. Ward, which is the 4th in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, which is a series about vampires. It's a romance series about vampires. And this one just immediately starts with a bang, with him just like, so many transphobic things happened in the first chapter. So go in being prepared for that. This series does get better as it goes on, and I don't imagine that J.R. Ward would put something like this in now. This was 15 years ago, 16 years ago, something like that. So, yeah, just how I always start a book. Super uncomfortable.
I wasn't going to make a clip about this book until I finished it, because it's very short. But I'm reading Where the Drowned Girls Go by Sean McGuire, which I think is like the 8th book in the Wayward Children series. I bought it. It's on the way. I don't have it, so I cannot hold it up here, unfortunately. So I guess it's not really a spoiler to say who the book is about, because you can just go read the synopsis. So it's about Cora, who she was a character in Beneath the Sugar Sky, which was the 3rd one. The whole story is, like, the series is basically kids find doors to other worlds, and they go through the door, and it's like a magical world that's like all the things that they love, and sometimes they later on find a door that brings them back home. She tried to kill herself and basically ended up in another world where she was a mermaid, and then she ended up back here. Her thing is that she's overweight, and it's just starting to, hold on, let me just change hands so my elbow doesn't get tired. It's starting to bother me that every single line of anything in this book is about Cora being fat. I get it, okay, but it's It's presented like every single person in the world hates her because she's fat, and like she's in a new school, and this girl came up to her and she's just like, "Well, you're so disgusting. Everyone hates you. You're a stupid fat pig." And it's just like kind of unwarranted that the girl was even getting mad at her in the first place for anything. But I'm just a little irritated because every single thing in this book is literally about how Cora's fat, and because she's fat, absolutely everyone hates her and no one could ever love her and she's worthless. And I don't think Sean McGuire feels that way. The thing is that she feels the opposite of that. She's just been treated poorly because she herself is overweight, but I think she's taking it a little too far. I think it's way O2 over the top because it's constant. It's the only thing happening to this character. Like, she's got this whole thing where she wants to, I think she's trying to like reintegrate. That's not the right word. She's trying to like, she wants to be part of society again, basically. I'm pretty sure. And that's what it's about. But every single line is still just about Cora being fat. And I think it's just way, way, way too much. And I'm starting to get really frustrated because I don't think it needed to be constant. I don't know. Also, I mean, I've been fat my whole life pretty much. There's been people who have been mean to me, obviously, but it most certainly had never defined my life. Maybe I've been lucky, but like a lot of people I know are overweight and it hasn't defined their life either. I don't get called a bunch of names. I didn't even when I was a teenager in high school and stuff. So like this idea that people don't want to be her friend because she's fat or that they hate her because of it is just deeply unrealistic. I know it's like a book about magic, so like to nitpick that is dumb, but I'm just kind of over it. And I still have half the book left. Just like, I don't know. I hope there's not people who have to deal with this constant thing. Like the last time I ran into this was when I read One to Watch, and I don't remember the name of that author, but that was that Bachelorette knockoff about the main character was fat. She was like a size 15 or 14 or 15, which isn't even that big, or she might have been a size 12, but her whole entire existence got completely defined by her weight, and everyone hated her for it. And on camera, people were telling her that she was ugly and disgusting and that she was worthless. And it was just like, it felt like someone who's never been overweight trying to write what they thought it was like for someone who was. And I saw pictures. The author doesn't look, oh wow, nice angle. The author didn't look overweight. I don't know, but like Shauna McGuire should know better. I mean, she's on the internet a lot, and she's an author, so she's a bit of a personality. I imagine people have said a lot of terrible things to her, but this is just like a bit too much. It's not realistic, I think, for a 16-year-old to just be treated so, so poorly by every single person she meets. And I can't even judge the book around it. Like, it's such a prominent thing that I can't say if I even like the story or not because I'm just being beat in the head with this over and over again. Maybe it'll be different later, but who knows? Also, I did finish the roughest draft and I didn't update. It was fine. The ending was fine. I'm surprised they did like the falling out thing because they got together, or I guess they slept together really, really late in the book, like with only a couple chapters to go, and they still had time for like a falling out, but it was resolved, so it's fine. It was okay overall. Nothing to write home about. I don't have really much of an update. I did finish Where the Drowned Girls Go, but I don't really have anything to say about it. It was fine, but I kind of just wanted to show Wookie a little bit, so you can see she's doing okay. My sweet little baby. I don't know, again, what Sarah has said. She's not alone. She's with Ducky and Dorothy, who you might know because we've showed them many times. So they're in intros right now and they're getting along pretty well. Ducky and Dorothy are super annoying to her. They constantly push her down and just are like a general nuisance. But Wookie's pretty patient with them. She seems to like them. She likes getting groomed. She's doing all right. Oh, look at you. You're so beautiful. Oh, my sweet baby. Look at you. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, look. Oh my god. Oh my god. She's so perfect. Yeah, I was worried about her because, you know, she'd just been with Wicket for most of her life, and I didn't know how she would bounce back, but we got her into intros with Ducky and Dottie the next day. So she was only alone for a night, and she's doing good. Oh, Dorothy's chirping. I wonder if I can get them out. Oh, 1 second. All right. I have everyone. Oh, ow, my skin is paying the price, but as you can see, 3 babies. They, Wookie and Dorothy just went under my shirt together, and there was a small scuffle on my flesh, but as you can see, everything's fine. But, yeah. There's a little bit, ow. It hurts really bad when they claw at your skin. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put them back. This was my update. I just wanted you to see Wookie and her new friends, whom Sarah is letting me borrow, basically. But it's okay, because we're on the same house. We're just across the hall from each other. Okay. Oh, please don't let me die like this. Okay. All right. I have to go. Please ignore that dead by daylight in the background. I'm just getting some footage of the babies finally in the big cage. And I screwed up because Ducky was leaning out of this hammock towards this bowl of water and scooping it up with her hands, and I wanted to record it, but when I went for my phone, I knocked their treat thing, and it spooked her, and she stopped, and I'm beside myself with rage. Do you want to? Oh my god. Say hi, baby. God, oh my god. No, that's Aspen. No. I thought she was gonna do it. She's eating wet aspen. She's sucking on wet aspen. Oh my god. Oh my god. What are you doing? That's so cute. Wookie? You blew it.
What is it? Days? Days? Little days? Yeah, if you see her breathing, I kind of suspect she has heart failure, and that's why she's breathing like that. But anyway, I just finished Lover Revealed. Daisy. My Daisy girl. Anyway, I just finished Lover Revealed by J.R. Ward, which is the 4th in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, and it's fine. I think I have it labeled as like a 4-star or something, and I'll just keep it like that, whatever. It's probably one of my least favorites. It's just not very entertaining. I don't really like Butch. I don't really like Marissa. I don't really like the story. Like, J.R. Ward shouldn't do prophecy things. Like, I don't know. I didn't really care for it. But, I'm moving on now to the Vampire Knitting Club, which is a cozy mystery that I know nothing about. I just looked up the list of cozy mysteries to read, and this was one of the first ones on there, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Because I want to try cozy mysteries. I've read some, like I've read Charlene Harris's, and I like those, and I think Finley Donovan is a cozy mystery, and obviously I love that, so hopefully I enjoy this one as well. You know, you gotta love this lighting. Like, beautiful, professional, amazing. Anyway, I have finished the Vampire Knitting Club. It was fine. I'll give it 3 stars. I'll probably go ahead and read the next one just to see if I like it. It's like with any genre, it's gonna take me a while to find ones that I really like and ones that I like, basically find my taste. With the Vampire Knitting Club, this is about a woman whose grandmother gets killed and turned into a vampire, and she has to figure out who killed her, basically. But yeah, next I'm going to be reading Spoiler Alert, which is a romance. I don't remember the author. I'm going to have to pop in later and tell you that. It's a romance about fanfiction. I believe she writes fanfiction and he's on the show she's writing for. I believe. I think. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong.
I got them this bed because I wanted them to have something nice to lay on. Wookie. 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 Oh, oh no. I scared you. Good. Good. Where's your shame? Where's your empathy? Money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah, my baby girl. Hello.
Alright. So it's Thursday. I didn't update you yesterday because Willa had surgery. She was getting a lump removed. Turns out she had 2 lumps and I didn't realize it. Thank God for vigilant vets. But yeah, she's over there recovering. A little nervous about the fact that there was 2 because they both popped up in the last like 2.5 weeks, and that's kind of concerning. But she has 2 almost. She's turning 2 next month. But anyway, I have Daisy and Asher out right now. Gotta get some cuddles from Asher, I think. I am in the middle of Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dodd? Something like that. I am enjoying it, but we got to the sex portion of it and I'm zoned out entirely. Hi. But yeah, it's good so far. I like that the main character's fat, and I like that it's like part of her personality but not her entire life. A lot of authors will just make that be the main character's entire like life and personality is, oh, they're fat. And I hate it. I hate when they do that. And that's not what she's doing, which I appreciate. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like I know what the fallout's gonna be, and that's gonna be hard to read. Hi. Okay, goodbye. Anyway, I'll update you later.
Look, he's just trying to relax.
I laughed. How could I? Alright, so I just finished Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. Still don't know how to say it. I liked it quite a bit. I'll probably give it 4 stars. There's some things about it that I liked more, some things I liked less. Like the middle got really boring for me. Like I feel like she could have cut out, I don't know, 25 pages, something like that. Because it's just like, it was the same kind of stuff over and over again, and I just, I didn't care for that necessarily. But the things I did like is that it felt like a more mature romance novel that I read a lot of the time. Not only because the characters were in their late 30s, but because this author recognized that like relationship problems are very rarely one person's fault, so they both had things to work through, and it took a pretty mature route with that, and like a mature route with trauma. It's like, no obligation, all that kind of thing, but also making it more complicated than just cutting someone out of your life. It's like, it's a decision you have to make, and it's one you have to work at, basically. You can't just randomly decide, okay, well, I'm done with this person, because emotions don't work like that. So I appreciated both those things. And I also appreciated that, again, it was a more mature take on romance. Like, all romances are the same in the sense that you have the quote-unquote meet cute, and then you have the getting to know you stuff, then you're together, then the fallout, then the makeup. Basically, that's every single romance. So it can get kind of repetitive and predictable, but if it's done well, then that doesn't matter. And this one, I feel, was done really well. So I forgot to mention what I'm reading next. Anyway, I'm starting A Perfect Boy by Kim Harrison. This is the 10th in the Hollow series. And in this one, Rachel's just dealing with the fallout from the last book. That's what most of these books from now on are kind of like. It's just like, Rachel's dealing with fallout. Yeah, so I'm starting that. This is probably on the same level as, like, you wanna come up? This is probably on the same level as, like, A Fistful of Charms for me, where it's just like, it's not my least favorite, but it's certainly not in the top 3. So it's a long one too, but hopefully I enjoy it more this time than I have in the past. So, my Lumpo child. I am 10 minutes in, and, like, oh god. So vampires can possess other vampires if they're stronger. So basically, a master vamp can, like, channel into a younger vamp and use their body as, like, a communication device, if you will. And a male vampire does this with a female vampire, and Rachel's just like, it's eerie seeing a man in a woman's body. And I'm just like, can you just not?
I have a confession to make, which I'm not proud of. Time has gotten away from me, and I can't remember the last time I read anything. So it's late at night, the day before I have to turn in my clips for the vlog. So this is what we're going to do. I've pulled Batman Arkham Mr. Freeze from my shelf to read it, to make up for, cool, my thumb in it, to make up for my lack of contributing to the vlog. Now, you might assume I slacked because of grief, and while I am not in a great place mentally, the real reason I slacked is because I've been rewatching Euphoria, and it's been a whole entire journey. I also watched all of Peacemaker. Peacemaker? Is that what his name is? Oh my god. Give me a second. It is called Peacemaker. I was right, on HBO, which has been fueling my lack of reading, which has gotten me into some trouble because I have set my Goodreads goal to 100 books this year, as I always do, and I've read 5. And it's the end of February, pretty much. So I'm in trouble, and I have to fix the number. I'm going to try and read some comic books to pad out what I've been missing. But here's the thing, I was like, I've been watching season 2 of Euphoria every single week, but maybe I should rewatch the whole thing tonight. And then my other thought was, no, I surely can't do that. I have to go to my parents' house tomorrow for my birthday, and I have to get up early. But also, I make poor decisions for myself, as evidenced by this impulse purchase of Eliza from Hamilton. I have a problem with Funkos, and when I'm sad I buy things, so onto the shelf she goes. But okay, I'm going to read this Mr. Freeze, and I guess I should give my thoughts on Peacemaker, since that's what I did instead of read. Peacemaker, if you don't know, from the new Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn did, he has a character played by John Cena called Peacemaker, and he's, I think the best way to describe his character before the show is he's like, he'll do anything for peace, no matter how many women and children he has to kill to do it. That's what he says, and it's just like, that's a good way to describe him. He's like unhinged and violent. He has a whole arc. It's beautiful. It's actually one of the better comic book superhero things that I've seen lately, because like I'm a shill for Marvel, as you can probably guess. I love how bad I shoot this. But yeah, so this is DC, and I haven't really been a huge fan of the DC things that have come out, but this was pretty good. Like, James Gunn's doing really good with his takes on things. Won't spoil anything, but there's an eagle character in it who's like an eagle, like just straight up an eagle. It's Peacemaker's friend, and I love him, and it's wonderful, and it's just pretty great, and the whole show's super fun. So if you don't mind, like, not too over the top violence, but like a silly kind of thing, I do recommend it. So I've been watching this week Euphoria and Peacemaker. I still have to watch Book of Boba Fett. I just don't want to. I've had a hard time with Star Wars for a while, as I think I've said 10,000 times on this. I'm not sure. But yeah, the point is, television has ruined my reading goals for the week. So I'm going to try and make up the numbers with this Batman comic. And if I finish it tonight, I'll pop back in with some opinions. It's just a bunch of one-off stories about Mr. Freeze, so I don't know how great it's going to be. But we'll see. Also, watch Euphoria if you hate yourself, but also like really good aesthetics. I finished it. Okay. I knew, because there was a bunch of kind of short stories or like little one-offs, I wasn't necessarily going to love it. And I didn't. Typically with those, it's kind of hit or miss. I didn't really like the old ones because I'm a fake fan who only likes the newer ones, I guess. I will say the one story I really liked in here was the Night of Owls story, which was the last one. We'll say spoilers because it's a big kind of spoiler for Victor for the New 52 if you're reading those, but I liked it because it's got like a little bit of a twist where the woman he had, oh god, do I have to explain Victor Freeze to people? Oh, Victor Freeze, he has a wife named Nora who got really sick, and he did like an experimental cryogenics thing on her, and she's frozen, literally frozen. And he is keeping her frozen until he can find a cure for the disease killing her. And an accident happens to him, and basically he has to be in this suit to keep him cold or he'll die. Right? Everyone knows that, I'm assuming, but just in case, that's Victor Freeze. I liked this Night of Owls story, which it goes with the Court of Owls arc, but the Night of Owls is like a whole separate thing that you don't necessarily have to read to get it, but it like fills in some blanks, and I can't explain the Court of Owls, but in this story, the twist is that Victor doesn't know Nora. He was hired by the Wayne Company, Wayne Enterprises, to experiment on this woman who was frozen, because back in the 1940s, she did this experimental treatment to freeze her so they can find a cure for her. Like, same thing with Nora. But Victor kind of lost his mind and thought that this woman was his wife, and he like knew her, and they're in love, and he's got to save her. But he imagined it all. That woman's not his wife. He doesn't have a wife. He's never even met her because she was frozen in the 1940s. And I think that's a fun, interesting twist on a very, I don't want to say like boring, because I don't think it's, I like Victor and his story. Just like whenever they kind of change up something, I either hate it or I like it a lot. And I thought this was interesting because it's just this particular run. The thing is with Batman, what I like and sometimes dislike is if you read a comic book for Batman and you hate it, the good news is it doesn't matter. You go read any other Batman and that story is not canon. So, like, when I got, the only thing I got mad about that I should have maybe tried to be calm with is when they ruined the Thomas Wayne letter from Flashpoint, which I'm still bitter about. I'm sure I've ranted about that on this, but yeah, I've rambled enough. One of the reasons I didn't like this is because one of the stories, he had a pet rat, and he was doing experiments, and he put the rat in a Tupperware, and he was going to freeze it to do experiments on it, and I got offended, obviously. Yeah, I thought it was dumb, because Victor's not, like, cruel. Like, he's had experimented on animals before and stuff, but, like, this was his pet. And the comic literally has him be like, well, you love me, don't you? Like, you're not mean to me, beloved pet rat. And then he immediately tries to kill it. And it's just like, that doesn't sound like Victor. Like, and yeah, I'm salty because it was a rat. And I look over and my beautiful, perfect child. Hold on. I'll get her. Oh, oh my goodness. Look at this baby. Look at this sweet, perfect baby. Do you see her? Wookie? Wookie baby, I got offended about a comic book. Wookie? What's that? Did you say that's nothing new and I always get offended at comic books? Wookie, is that what you said? Wookie is asleep. But yeah, I got sad because he killed, or he didn't kill the rat. I think the rat lived because it showed the rat. The dad found him before he could stick her in the freezer. And I'm pretty sure she lives, so there's that. But I'm still annoyed. So I'm going to probably just go ahead and give this 2 stars because actually a lot of stories bored me. With Victor, if you have really good writing, then it's going to be like the best thing you've ever read. But if you don't have someone who kind of like fully understands the character, then it's just like evil man with freeze gun. And that kind of sucks because Victor has a lot of depth to him. Some of the Rogues Gallery doesn't, but I think Victor's one that really stands out with his backstory and his personality. Because a lot of time you watch Batman stuff, or even you read it, and Victor sometimes is like on Bruce's side after a while. Like, I'll use the Arkham games as an example because I feel like even people who don't like Batman have probably seen some of the stuff from them. But like in Arkham City, you fight Victor, but then you're like on his side, and you're on his side before. Like, it's Victor is like not out of his mind enough that he doesn't sometimes work with Batman. Same as like Catwoman. Although in these later years, they've kind of made Catwoman not really a bad guy anymore because she's primarily Bruce's love interest. So she's more like looking out for herself until she is dating Bruce. And then she's looking out for herself and Bruce. So, yeah, say what you will about that. That's just what it is. But, you know, anyway, yeah, as far as the Rogues Gallery, Victor is kind of up there for me. So I'm a little disappointed I didn't love this. But I am going to keep it in my collection because these are really hard to come by, these Batman Arkham ones specifically. I have Penguin and I have Killer Croc. I couldn't get a hold of the Riddler one, which I really wanted. I really wanted the Pamela Isley one, the Poison Ivy one. They're just impossible to get, so I flipped with it. But I do have a few. Anyway, that's my wrap-up for the night. It is 2:30 in the morning, so I'm going to probably just watch some Dead by Daylight on Twitch and go to bed. And maybe play with my rat, who is not in a Tupperware of water, being stuck in a freezer. So, good night.
Where we started it. Welcome to the end of the vlog. I have a puppy. She does. Worried.
She does like this.
She does.
Look at her feet.
This is just how her face looks. Anyway,
why are we in the same position we were when we started? Do you even change your clothes? Have you showered lately?
Your clothes are more recognizable than my clothes.
What is that supposed to mean?
Yours have words. Anyway, what'd you read this week?
I only read The Roughest Draft. My time lapsed on the Charm Offensive again. And I also lost out on... I tried to get a book at the library, but I didn't know that I got it, so I lost out on it, and I have to wait a few weeks. I don't know. You got the email.
It didn't notify you?
No, it didn't. I didn't get it. I don't... Because I use her library card. So
it's a whole thing.
I missed it. I should check my library more frequently than I do because I keep missing out on books. But the only thing I got to read this week was the roughest draft and a Batman comic with Mr. Freeze because I haven't been checking my library. Hold on. I'll find out what. Here, let me look. The X Talk. That's what I missed.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I know. And I gotta wait 6 weeks for the next
sucks.
one. I know. I'm pretty bummed about it because I've been waiting for that one for a while because that came out like last year.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it. And then they bought the Love Con, which is the other book you bought me. So I have to wait 4 weeks and I can read the Love Con. Oh my god, Cujo.
Well, I read The Vampire Knitting Club, which was fine. And then I read Spoiler Alert, which was better. I liked that one pretty well. It didn't quite, like, resonate with me deeply, but I enjoyed it enough to give it 4 stars. And then I finished A Perfect Blood, and it's my least favorite of the entire series. And I disliked it greatly.
Cujo's really upset that we're not rubbing her belly right
I
now.
know. Alright, what are you planning on reading next week?
Well, I have Finley Donovan by Ellie Cosmano. Is that your name?
El Cosmano.
I always say Ellie. But I have that, and then I need to get back to Dune. I took a little break from Dune. The other book I had... I just have Finley Donovan. And no other books. So maybe I'll grab another couple comic books. Because I have I have 2 trade paperbacks of Damien series, Damien Wayne.
Why do you like this?
You see the back of her. What I'm probably going to do this week is just play Dead by Daylight.
Well, I'm going to... Don't lick me.
Licking her leg?
Don't
What are you
lick
doing?
me.
Freak.
I'm going... Stampy.
What are you doing? Look, there's a wet spot on her leg.
I'm going to hopefully at least make a good dent on the rest of the... Well, not the rest.
God.
The...
Cujo.
In the next few Kim Harrisons, and then maybe get to the newer ones that I haven't read yet. And I also have Count Your Lucky Stars.
Hold on. It's like the Star Wars crawl. I'll stop here so you don't see your dog junk.
Yeah, I'll let her have her dignity.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, you rubbed my belly. That could have been delivered better. That's improv, baby. That's improv.
I hope you liked this vlog.
Yeah, it was a long one.
If you enjoyed it,
Don't lick my hand! Don't!
if you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, get set to get wet because in the next one I'm probably going to be talking about Euphoria a lot.
Goodbye.